I'm a student of Japanese modern art. Through some friends and teachers, both Japanese and foreign, I've learned a little bit about Japanese modern artists. These days, I'm studying poems written by Tori Shozo through reading and researching his writings. He's not a famous poet in Japan, but he's pretty well known to a large group of underground artists and critics. Briefly, I'd like to talk about his background in poetry. Tori was born in 1937 and died in 1994 in Ito City, Shizuoka Prefecture. He published his first book of poems when he was 18, and altogether he published 8 books of poems. Tori's poems are interesting because they are very creative. One book, Alphabet Trap, has one poem for each letter in the alphabet, from A to Z. Let me just read to you a few lines of a few poems by Tori from this book to show his wonderful imagination. The setting for the poem C is a red desert. On the desert surface, there is a steamship floating. But the ship is made of cardboard, and how can a ship float on the desert sand anyway? In the poem G, at the window, a headless stone statue, facing up, has a silent conversation with blue clouds. Spring is the crazy season. Of course, it's not possible for something made of rock to have a conversation, especially since the statue is headless and the conversation is voiceless. Maybe it's an ESP conversation. But anything can happen in Tori's poems. Some of the images found in his poetry are surreal because objects are in places where they usually aren't found. These are just a few of the interesting images. In my opinion, Tori is great because he goes against the stereotypes of Japanese poetry. He's not a haiku or a tanka writer, but an original, imaginative, modern artist.